What was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah. Uh-oh.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Retired Renovators, the YouTube channel that my husband Gary and I started to document the restoration of our historic house in Paducah, Kentucky. We're excited that we're finally working full steam ahead on the big brick house. We've spent over a year working on the carriage house. That's done. We're living in the carriage house now, and our focus is on the big brick house. What we want to talk about today is the challenge of how to restore the house, but also how to understand what the guts of the house are about. And we would argue that you almost always have to take a house down to the bare studs to be able to figure out what is going on with the house. And I know a lot of people, if you see plaster and it looks good, you want to just keep it. If the boiler's working, you want to keep it. But I'm telling you, if you can't get under there and see everything that's going on, the potential of some really bad things, it's pretty strong. And so what we wanted to talk about today are some of the things that we have discovered as we have unearthed the good, the bad, and the ugly of this big brick house, of things that you might have to watch out for. So come on, let me show you what we've found. So I'd appreciate it if you could take just a minute and hit the subscribe button. And if you like the content, the thumbs up. This lets YouTube know that someone is watching our video, and it just helps with the analytics. It takes just a second. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. We don't come after you. It's just helpful for us if we can build our subscriber base. So we would really appreciate you doing that. Thanks a lot.
All right, so this is, we just took down this steel and it had the type of B-board on it because we wanted to see what was up there. And what we see very clearly is mold and mildew. All along here, and directly above this area is an old porch where we had water running down the chimney. There was a leak in the roof flashing to the chimney, and rain would wash down and puddle up in there and eventually come down into this first floor. But as you can see, there's all kind of mold and mildew that was built up there that we wouldn't know about unless we ripped this open to see it. And that's why we go a little deeper than you might want to. You say, well, we can just paint over it or cover over it. If you do, you're probably painting over or covering over this mold that eventually will get all in the air and affect people that allergies and asthma and so on. So we open this up, we'll spray it with bleach, and get rid of all this mold that was hidden inside the ceiling.
And particularly interesting is because the majority of the house does not have any mold.
Yes.
So you would think there's not mold, but in this one area because of the chimney leak.
Yeah. So if you pan back to other parts of the ceiling, you see there's maybe a little bit here and there, but no indication that it would be this bad over on this side that it's still covered up.
Right. So we are trying to keep as much of the original floor as we can, but some of the floor is rotten, and so as we've taken out some of the floor, we've discovered missing subfloor. So here's an example of missing subfloor. We put this little piece in so it would not be quite as large, but there's several places in the house where there is this missing subfloor. And who knows why? It could be that the previous owners were doing something where they needed space and just chopped it away. You know, small spaces are not necessarily problematic, but if there's a lot of places where there's missing subfloor, there is definitely going to be problems with your floor. So knowing that there were places in our house that had missing subfloor, we went around and really did some examination trying to find out where that was and where we could restore the floors and where we had to give up the idea of restoration there. We did find 2 or 3 or 4 other places that had missing floorboards like this. So here's a nifty little metal pole. This is a jack pole for, here's a nice open staircase. Here's a case where someone before us decided that they really wanted the open concept. I love the open concept as much as the next guy, but you can't just willy-nilly take down walls, and certainly not around a staircase like this. So we discovered that the floor up here is sagging because there's not enough support. There's just not enough support here. Some aspect of this wall was previously taken out. So we had to quickly go in and shore this up. We've been trying to raise it a quarter of an inch or so every couple of weeks. We're almost at the part where we're now on the second floor. Everything is fine. So you don't discover this kind of thing unless you get underneath the surface of a house, the walls, and to see what is there and to know where all your support walls are or not. So this was, could have been a real dangerous area if we had left it alone. See what that wall is all about.
Sometimes these big, thick walls that look like they're bearing walls are not.
Oh. Okay, let me pan up here.
See, it's not, nothing is resting on it at the top.
Right. So, yeah. Okay.